crap, it just happened. Tesla has announced temporary Model Y price cuts in the US. Quote, new Model Y rear-wheel drive and long-range all-wheel drive prices reduced for deliveries now through February 29th. Prices will increase by 1,000 or more on March 1st. So, pretty interesting. It's like a 2.5 week price reduction. Not exactly sure why. Maybe they're trying to run through some inventory. I'm not convinced this will harm Tesla stock the way that some people might actually not do anything because it's so strange. It probably shouldn't move EPS estimates too much considering it is temporary. And there is a lot of speculation that this is probably just one trying to reduce inventories of the Model Y to get ready for the Model Y refresh, which that makes a lot of sense to me considering the Model Y performance. You see no change in pricing. And you can only imagine that there's less inventory of the performance Model Y because that's not going to be the most popular Model Y that Tesla needs to even produce. Let me know down below in the comment section why Tesla is doing this strange price reduction and if you think it will affect Tesla's stock. This is in fact the first temporary price reduction we've got from Tesla. In the past, Tesla had no shame in their game to cut prices whenever they wanted to and to not say anything else in the markets. But this time they made it clear that it is a temporary price reduction. I think this is one of the first steps in showing the markets, hey, we're going to focus on being profitable. If we're going to cut prices, we're not going to tell you exactly why we're cutting prices because we don't want to spoil demand right now, but we're coming out with a refresh Model Y. We want to sell some inventory. That's going to be a net positive to shareholders. We're not going to hurt margins because we're just going to raise prices again coming on March 1st. So I think this, followed by some of the news that we've seen recently that Tesla's looking to lay some of their staff off, fancy way of saying fire some of their workers, is showing me that Tesla's about to focus on profitability. And when the markets realize Tesla is focusing on profitability and Tesla's EPS might see a boost towards the second half of this year, I think Tesla stock will do some great things to the upside. Tesla stock has been green 4 days in a row. We predicted this bounce off the 180 low, and so far so good. But the reason why Tesla stock was up 2% plus on Friday was probably this. On Friday, New Street Research analyst Pierre Fergu says that he sees Tesla shipping about 8.4 million vehicles in 2030. That implies average annual growth of about 25% for the coming 7 years. A lower priced Tesla is key to his estimate. Fergu expects that a car to be launched in 2025 and to sell roughly 5 million units a year by the end of the decade. He is a Tesla bull, rating shares buy. His price target is $270 per share. Tesla sold 71,447 vehicles made in the Shanghai plant last month, up about 8% year over year, according to Citi analyst Jeff Chung, who tracks data from the China Passenger Car Association. But Tesla shipped 94,139 units from its Shanghai plant in December, a seasonally strong month for car shipments. So really, when you're looking at December compared to January, you're always going to see a month-over-month decline. Now, later on into this video, we will be going over where I think Tesla's stock will be by the end of 2024, and it's a lot higher than today. But here, even in the near term, I have been calling for a rally into the 210, potentially as high as the 220 zone. This is because for a bullish trade right now, Tesla looks primed. I mean, the RSI was negative. It went positive on February 6th. The MACD has been negative for a long time now, and that went positive on February 7th. Now you've seen 4 green days in a row. You're starting to get a little bit more of a bullish attention into Tesla stock. For a while there, everyone was so negative in Tesla. It started to shift. You're not even close to optimistic, but you're not as negative. So I think that the shift could continue here, and more people are going to say, dang, I sold Tesla in the 180s. It's now 190s, potentially soon in the 200s, and start to FOMO, if you will, back into Tesla stock. Because let's be honest, nothing has changed with Tesla's business. I mean, like, think about that just abstractly. What has actually changed? Tesla did not provide guidance? Sure. We've seen some small price cuts that really aren't even going to move the needle for EPS estimates. They haven't moved the needle. Estimates are still the same. I mean, what's changed? Elon lost his 2018 comp package. The board's going to rectify that and give him an even bigger one. They're going to completely take that risk off the table, hopefully pretty soon. You could actually make an argument that over the past couple of weeks, Tesla as a business structurally has gotten a little bit more sound. Moving the state of incorporation, or soon to move the state of incorporation, to Texas, that's actually a big win for shareholders. That even means potentially Tesla will face less litigation problems if they're in Texas. So my point is, people got very negative on Tesla for really no justifiable reason. Now here, looking at the Bollinger Bands, right at about $200 per share is this 20-day moving average. That's going to be a little bit of resistance. If you break out above that, you have your gap to fill around 210 and then another gap to fill around 220. I shared this post on X. It's from Jake Huansky. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's got like 250,000 followers on X. He says, a Tesla bear's worst nightmare would be these gaps start filling to the upside, and you could see the gap to fill here. I put the gap to fill around 210 because that is the prior close the day before earnings. And yeah, that looks like a pretty sound level, but still, I won't argue with this. A gap to fill up to about 206.78. Another gap to fill at about 219.22. Another gap to fill at 226.32. And then 232.78, and then 240, and then 246. But really, I think if you can get above this last earnings where we just gapped down, then you really start to potentially get a lot of chasers into Tesla, because you've been so negative for so long. This chart still does not look wonderful if you're looking at this from a longer time period, right? On a couple of month time period. But if you start to get back above your neutral level, if you will, your kind of baseline here before Tesla's last earnings, then you can start to really target some serious upside. Honestly, I wouldn't bet against that right now. Tesla's 50-day moving average is sitting at $225.59 per share. Tesla's 100-day moving average at $230 per share, and Tesla's 200-day moving average at $232 per share. You could have quite the upside still in Tesla stock, and it could just be getting started. As I said in the last video, once we get Nvidia earnings on February 21st, that's when I think everything will change for Tesla stock for the better. Nvidia has gained $600 billion of market cap in the last 6 weeks. Tesla stock has lost $200 billion of market cap in the last 6 weeks. Tesla is that large cap name, one of the largest names in our markets, that has gotten crushed in recent months. What's happened? Nvidia has rallied. A lot of money has went from Tesla into Nvidia. I'm very confident in that statement. But don't be confident in that statement. Just look at the actual price action. Take a look at February 6th. And I've pointed this out before, so we will be very short in doing so because there's other Tesla stock news I want to get into here in this video. But on February 6th, that was the first day Nvidia had been down over 1% since back here on January 2nd. So it's been a very long time. Nvidia was actually down about 4% at one point during the day. You only closed down 1.6%. But what happened? On February 6th, Tesla stock hit its low, hit its bottom, really baselined out, and seen a 2.2% gain. Even when you look at the Russell 2000, on February 6th, the Russell was up 1% that day. That was a pretty strong day. And you are starting to see more people talking about this trade of go long Tesla short Nvidia. Quite a few people actually, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I have actually done that as well. That's not a recommendation. That's not financial advice. You probably will lose all of your money if you make that trade, but I think it's a compelling one at this point. But with that being said, let's get into all of your Tesla stock news today. Someone has finally done it, and we have a pink Cybertruck. Neuralink has switched the location of its business incorporation to Nevada from Delaware, according to the Office of Nevada Secretary of State and a notice sent to shareholders in the company. Self-driving beta V12.2 is now going out to Tesla employees and special groups for the first time. Tesla's main X account doing a little bit more education promotion. They say access a range of free resources from DIY guides to full-service manuals, wiring diagrams, diagnostic cables, and remote data connections for Sexy and the Roadster. Look at that. Kim Kardashian has taken a couple of pictures of the Cybertruck next to her private jet. I mean, that's I don't know if that's a paid promotion, but that is a pretty wild, actually, especially if it's not a paid promotion. The attention this could bring to the Cybertruck in a demographic in which I would argue probably is not huge Tesla owners, well, that could be great news for Tesla. India's Union Minister of State for Heavy Industries says Tesla can apply for incentives under the National Program on Advanced Chemistry Cells and Battery Storage. This, I do think, is an upside catalyst at some point when we do get that Indian factory being announced. Tesla and BYD had 35% of the global EV market in 2023. Tesla's Google Trend activity showing an uptick for all of your Tesla lineup. The Model X going from 9 to 10, your Cybertruck recently dipping as low as 18, now sitting at 25. The Model 3 went from 36 to 37, and the Model Y going from 34 to 36. Global inventory numbers for the Model Y still sitting at very high levels, about 8,100, which makes sense to why potentially we are seeing this $1,000 temporary price reduction for the Model Y. Now, that's also very interesting as well, the temporary. The fact that Tesla said it's temporary when anytime in the past they have said, yeah, we're just cutting prices. Like, it's not temporary. We don't plan to raise prices again, because that may show Tesla's actually trying to show the markets that they're not going to sacrifice profitability, that they want to be profitable. And that's what the markets care about right now. If you can boost your EPS, your stock will do well. So taking Tesla's word for it, if we get a refresh Model Y and prices go up again, that could show a lot of credibility on Tesla's part to retain profitability and to retain margins. Your Model X inventory is sitting at about 1,900, still at very low levels. Model S inventories at about 1,000, again, very low. And Model 3 inventories continue to creep lower basically every single day, sitting at 813. And Tesla continues their advertising campaign, now running about 2,000 ads via Google. This is raising a lot of questions on whether or not Tesla will have a Super Bowl advertisement. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Option activity in Tesla stock on Friday was actually quite negative from hedge funds and institutions. The dollar amount is pretty low, albeit only $445 million worth of options that were bought in Tesla stock on Friday. But the positive order value at 37%, definitely on the low side, and comprising $445 million was 733 different trades from hedge funds and institutions. Over the past week, you have seen 5,329 hedge fund institutional options trades worth $4.66 billion with a positive order value of 53%. So the numbers look pretty good for the entirety of last week. If you take a look at the volume on Friday, though, this is including retail, hedge funds, institutions, money managers of all different kinds, you had volume of almost 64% to the call side and about 36% to the put side. That looks very strong, almost a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 times as many calls for every one put that is being bought. The dollar amount currently sold short in Tesla stock sits at $15.32 billion, and your cost to borrow fees at about a half of 1%. That is also very low, really signaling there's not a lot of demand right now from short sellers to short Tesla stock. 10-year Treasury yields on Friday were mostly flat, with your 10-year Treasury yield sitting at 4.17%. On StockTwits, sentiment for Tesla is bullish at 64. It is Saturday, keep that in mind. Yesterday, you were at 91, and that was extremely bullish. So a lot of people on weekends, they kind of go away from the computer. They go away from the phones, or at least they're not thinking or talking about stocks. So that's probably why you're seeing less people that are bullish on Tesla here today. After these price cuts, maybe that it does start to go neutral or even to the bearish side coming here over the next couple of hours. So I'll be watching that, and I'll bring you any changes that we do see here. Message volume is 35. Yesterday it was 37, which again makes sense because it's the weekend, and the participation ratio sitting at 39. It's categorized as low, but it's overall pretty normal. And the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average did see a nice rally towards the end of the day on Friday, now sitting at 54.47%. That was actually up about 3.36% on Friday. You're still down a lot from your 86% of stocks that were above their 50-day moving average on December 28th, but you're at least bottoming and you're starting to move higher here. So that is going to go ahead and do it for this video. Hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about all of this news down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, check out that link down below in the description of this video. My name is Michael Tyler. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and your weekends, and I will see you in the next one.